So you're thinking about making a move to Rancho Santa Fe, and you're probably just in research mode right now, trying to figure out if Rancho Santa Fe is the right place for you to call home. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do for you guys, is just lay it all out there and give you one of the most extensive breakdowns on the city of Rancho Santa Fe to help you guys make a better decision. I'm gonna go over pretty much everything from the schools to the real estate market, and even jump onto my computer and walk you guys around the map to show you what these areas consist of, some of the neighborhoods, and some of the things to do, and just stuff you're going to want to know if you're going to consider calling Rancho Santa Fe home. So let's go ahead and get after it now. Welcome back. If this is your first time here and you'd like to know more about San Diego real estate or life here in San Diego, make sure you tap that subscribe button below. My name is Nick, and you guys are reaching out all the time, and we absolutely love helping you out. So if you're thinking about making a move in the next week, month, year, make sure you shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can help you save a lot of time and just help you make a smooth move to, I guess, Rancho Santa Fe if you're watching this video. Now, as I mentioned, I wanted to pack everything into one video and just consolidate all that good info so you know what you're getting into when you're moving to Rancho Santa Fe, because it's going to be one of the most expensive and exclusive cities in all of the United States, and all for the right reasons, because it is just such a rural, magical place, especially once you start driving through. I don't know if you've visited before, maybe you live close by, but if you're moving from somewhere else like a lot of people are, it is a very, very magical place once you start driving around. And that leads me to say a lot of people have been moving here over the past few years, especially since the pandemic, to get away from some of the things that they've either been used to. Maybe they have some bad weather, or maybe they want some more space, and just a different lifestyle, because Rancho Santa Fe is going to have that. And the best part is you're only going to be about 25 to 30 minutes away from the ocean in Rancho Santa Fe, and it won't even feel like you're near the ocean when you're in this place, because it's just so rural. It has some of the most beautiful real estate I've ever seen, and it just has a ton of different architecture, things like that. So you can really be picky and have your choice depending on what your style is. And according to niche.com, Rancho Santa Fe is actually ranked #1 for having the best public schools in all of California. So that is saying a lot right there. So depending on what you're looking for, if you want really good schools, beautiful scenery, gorgeous homes, very private homes, nature, trails, if you want all that, Rancho Santa Fe should definitely be at the top of your list. And just make sure you're bringing a very big checkbook, because we're going to go over some of the real estate prices in a little bit, so make sure you stick around. But for my parents out there, you're going to have about 2 high schools, 3 middle schools, 5 elementary schools, 2 preschools, and even about 4 private schools. And about 40% of people that live in Rancho Santa Fe are going to be about 55 and older. So that leaves a pretty good chunk of about 60% of people, or the people that live there, are going to be younger than 55, just if you wanted to know some of the demographics with age. Also, another huge thing is about 80% of people actually own their home in Rancho Santa Fe, while about 20% rent. So that ratio is going to be one of the best in the entire San Diego County. You're really not going to see that very often. Usually it's, 60-40, 60 being owners, 40% being renters in certain communities. So it's just some really important stuff. But let's go ahead and jump into my computer so I can walk you around the maps. So let's get straight into it. So you can see Rancho Santa Fe is going to be outlined right here, and it's actually a little bit bigger than this. I'll show you in a second. But from downtown San Diego, if you need to go to the airport and things like that, which is pretty important, it's going to be, well, the airport's going to be located right down in here, and it's going to be about a 30 to 40 minute drive depending on traffic from Rancho Santa Fe. So honestly, not too bad. It's going to be a straight shot from Rancho right onto the 5, and you're going to take the 5 the whole way down. So pretty easy access, which is going to be great for you guys if you're going to be living in Rancho Santa Fe. Now, let me kind of dive into very central, as you can see when we're looking at the map in San Diego County. And Rancho Santa Fe really is a little bit bigger than this. It's going to be, Fairbanks Ranch is going to be included in that, and it's going to go down to about here and make its way up all the way to the border of Escondido. So right over here, there's still some communities that are considered Rancho Santa Fe. So it's unincorporated. That's why it's not showing up on the map. But let's go ahead and show you some of these access points, because there's about 4, maybe 5 ways to enter Rancho Santa Fe, and one of which is going to be through Encinitas. So right here, Encinitas Boulevard is going to take you straight into Rancho Santa Fe, right into the Covenant, which I'll cover in a little bit. And then you also have access from Solana Beach. You have another access point from pretty much from Fairbanks Ranch. So just south of Fairbanks Ranch is going to be Carmel Valley. So you'll have an entrance right over here. A lot of windy roads. That is the best part about Rancho Santa Fe. It's very magical when you get in there because it's just windy roads. You kind of like forget about traffic and you're just kind of cruising. So it's a really cool place. And then another entrance, well, you're going to have two more. So I think I have three so far. So you're going to have one coming in from Forest Ranch in Del Sur area, which is going to be San Diego Road. And then you're going to have one last entrance right here from Escondido. So you'll pass Lake Hodges and you'll come straight in the back way past Cielo and the Crosby, which I'm going to cover for you guys. So make sure you stick around. Now, what I want to do is kind of start from the north and I'll make my way down because Rancho Santa Fe is a pretty big area for the most part, and it has so many different subdivisions. It's very private, as you know, and even if you don't have a manned gate guard, you're going to have a ton of areas where you have private driveways with a gate. So very exclusive, like you know. And we'll actually start over here. So one of the big communities here is going to be the Bridges, which is going to be a golf course community. And if you guys are golfers and you're moving to Rancho Santa Fe, you are going to be extremely happy because you got about 11 golf courses just in Rancho Santa Fe. So you're going to have access to these and be able to play these courses, which is great. Now, one thing I want to show you is you'll kind of see these white roads right here. These are not private. These are public roads. And once you start to see these gray roads, that means it's in a gated community. So you're going to see a ton of that. And this is going to be actually, this is a gatehouse right here. So this is your main entrance into the Bridges, where homes don't come up very often. When they do, they can go pretty fast, depending on what condition they're in, if they're updated and all that fun stuff. And we'll talk a little bit about the real estate soon. And then also another two big communities you should really know about is going to be Cielo, which is going to be more towards the Escondido side. It's going to be on the east side, but you have some gorgeous panoramic views throughout Cielo. Gorgeous, gorgeous homes. And right down here is where you're going to actually turn off of Del Dios Highway, and you're actually going to go up. You're going to go north, and you'll see when you get past the gate guard, you're going to be just climbing elevation. So you have a lot of these homes back here have some beautiful, beautiful views. You also have a clubhouse in there with tennis and a pool and things like that. So a lot of exclusivity here in Rancho Santa Fe. And then down below, you have a tiny little shopping mall. You're going to have a cool little cafe down below and a gym and some things like that. So just some businesses right south of you. And then directly across the street is another very well-known community called the Crosby Estates. Now, another golf course in here, and you can see how these roads went from white, and now we are in the gray zone. So pretty big space, and this will actually leak through, so you could take, if you, depending on where you live in here, you can actually get access over here into Del Sur. So you're going to have a ton of shopping over in Del Sur. I'm not going to get too into this, but you got a Target, Sprouts. You got a lot of shopping over here. So great access. You're not going to be far from shopping. If you live in the Crosby, they have a beautiful clubhouse as well with a really good restaurant in there. Let's move out of the Crosbys. And you guys can see it's very, like, a lot of windy roads. There's not a lot of businesses. And that's what's so special about Rancho Santa Fe is, you know, depending on where you live, you're going to be anywhere from about 15 to 20 minutes from shopping. So you're not very far, which is great. And it is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes to leave your house. So make sure you're writing down a grocery list before you head out to Trader Joe's, because if you forget something, you're going to be bummed when you get home because you're going to have another 20-minute drive back to the grocery store. So that was kind of the north and the east side right there. And now we'll move into the Covenant. Now, the Covenant is kind of the OG, the original part of Rancho Santa Fe, and it pretty much is going to cover a lot of this red circular area that we're talking about. So this is going to be your main axis if you're going to go shopping into the grocery store. You're probably going to head into Encinitas over here where you're going to have Trader Joe's, Sprouts, everything you can need, and you're only going to be about 15 minutes even from the ocean, which is great too. So even from probably the Sprouts right here to Moonlight Beach, that's going to be a 5 to 10 minute drive. So you can kind of get an idea of how far you are there, but really windy roads back here. Not a lot of gated communities, but you will have, like I said, those private gated homes. So you'll see a driveway and a big gate in front of it. So great area back in here in the Covenant. And this is going to be the Rancho Santa Fe Golf Club over here. So you'll see this too when you're taking La Granada and heading into the Covenant in the Village, which we're going to talk about in a second. You'll see this golf course basically the entire way. Now, let me zoom out and show you guys. So we went down from Encinitas. Now we're going to be in the heart. This is the heart of Rancho Santa Fe. This is just going to be called the Village. Now, I want to share a couple things with you guys, a couple important things if you're really considering buying a home and living here in Rancho Santa Fe is you will not get any mail service to your house. What I mean by that is you'll have to have a P.O. box. It adds to the privacy here. You will have no mailmen driving around, going to houses, going up these driveways, and it's because a lot of them are very private. So you're going to have a P.O. box, and there's a few different post offices throughout Rancho Santa Fe. I have one right here, which is going to be located in the Village of Rancho Santa Fe. And also you can hire some mail couriers. There's some great services out there where they'll actually go pick up your mail from the P.O. box and come hand deliver it to your house. So that is available. That's obviously going to be a fee if you want to do that, but just know that you're not going to have a mailbox right out front of your driveway where you can walk down, or a community mailbox. You're going to have none of that here. So that could be a con depending on what you really want, or it could be a pro. It's kind of cool. Now, a couple things I want to share with you is this is like the cute downtown area. A lot of this is kind of like that Spanish revival look. There's a big architect named Lillian Rice who actually was an architect for a lot of these buildings here. And you'll see some of the homes. She actually designed a lot of the homes too. So if you see like a Spanish revival style home, probably her home. So really cool. And there's a very cool spot right here called Time in the Ranch, which you need to check out. It's kind of like the local hangout. It's a bakery, cafe. They got some really good scones and muffins and sandwiches. So make sure you go there too. You will. If you live there, you're definitely going to be checking that out. You're going to hear about it from the locals. And then there's Mille Fleurs, which is a French restaurant, which is really well known. And you just have a cool little area over here. So just a nice downtown feel. Not a huge area, kind of smaller. And then you're going to have a lot of residential around it. So you can see a lot of white roads. So again, not a lot of big gated communities in the Covenant. So keep that in mind. And also a lot of trails, as you can see. A lot of them are going to be private, but these green lines right here, these are trails where you can hike. There's a lot of equestrian trails. You'll see people on their horses back there. So a really cool vibe back here. And it's crazy because you take a 15-minute drive to Encinitas and you hit the coast. You wouldn't expect that to be just 20 minutes inland. So it's a really, really cool, unique vibe once you get out there. And now let's head a little bit south. Now we're going to head down into Fairbanks Ranch. But before I go there, I got to show you guys there's a really cool little, like not a farmer's market, but Friday through Sunday, you're going to have a cool market right here, the vegetable shop. So if you want to do some like farm to table stuff at your house and just get some fresh produce, this place right here is going to be busy and it's going to have some really fresh local produce. So make sure you check that out. That's kind of smack dab in the middle. And we're going into Fairbanks Ranch right here. And this is going to be, it's pretty much all gated for the most part. You can see right here, this is going to be the clubhouse. So once you're back here, you got some gorgeous, gorgeous homes in Fairbanks Ranch. Very private. You have little ponds throughout. It's a lot of acres back there. I'm not sure on the exact amount, but you have a ton going on. And also right here, which I want to highlight is you already know the school districts are really, really good. It's one of the top places, like I said, to raise a family and one of the top public school systems in all of California. So really cool info. You're going to have private schools, but you also have Solana Elementary, which is going to be right here. And then directly across the street is Helen Woodward. There they are. Some very cute puppies right there. And man, I've known so many people that have adopted dogs and cats from Helen Woodward. It is amazing. These are rescues. They're adorable, adorable place to get an animal and go play with them or whatever you want to do. So make sure you check that out. There's always some dogs there that need a home. Now we'll move south. Like I said, we're still in the Fairbanks Ranch area. And this is going to be another pretty big shopping center over here where you can do some grocery shopping. And you have another post office, boom, right here. So this is going to be Fairbanks Ranch. And then you also have a farmer's market that goes on every Sunday from, I believe, 9 till about either 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So if you want some more local food vendors, things like that. Great thing to check out. And you also have a Locadia Pizza in here, some Mexican food, tons of banks in Rancho Santa Fe. And what do you know? We got the farms over here, which is another gated community. I'm not going to get too much into it because there's a ton of different little sub neighborhoods that are gated with private golf courses. So this is going to be another golf course over here. You have Degaño Country School over here, which is another elementary. You know, that's pretty much going to wrap up just our little map tours and just some things you really want to know about if you are going to be living here. These are going to be some major points of interest, but now let's go ahead and check out some of this real estate. So now we're going to move on to some really important info that you're really going to want to pay attention to if you're considering buying a home here in Rancho Santa Fe, because it's going to be a very large investment for you and it's going to be a big purchase overall. So you want to know some of these numbers and what you can realistically expect. Now, the median sale price here in Rancho Santa Fe is about $6.5 million. So what I mean by that is your single family options, you're going to have some condo options, but not a whole ton. But your detached homes are really going to start around $3 million. And even at that price point, you're going to want to have some cash on hand for some renovations because it's likely going to be very, very outdated. So just keep that in mind. It says it's up about 50% year over year. I'm going to share the migration on why a lot of wealth has been coming down here in a second. Median days on market, about 100 days, which is very common. Obviously, price point is very high here. So there's a way smaller group of buyers looking to move in here. And now we're going to move down to some of this. So important stuff. So sale to list price, when you see a home listed for $1 million, it's likely going to sell for about $930,000. That's what Redfin's saying right here with some of the data that they track. So expect you have a little bit of negotiability, which is awesome here in Rancho Santa Fe. Price drops. So about 11% of homes have a price drop before they sell here in Rancho Santa Fe. So about 1 out of 10 homes, which is a decent number, very common. And then we're going to move down here. So migration. Now, there's been a ton of wealth migrating here to San Diego in general, all of San Diego County over the last few years, ever since the pandemic really, but even more so nowadays. And these are the places where most people are moving from. These have the biggest inbound searches, and it's going to be LA. You can see that number right there. That's a pretty large number in just a 2 to 3 month span. And then you have San Francisco, which is number 2, Chicago, Washington, New York. So it's interesting to see this because these are more expensive markets. So people are coming down here and they want some better weather. They want maybe some more space because you're going to have a ton of space in Rancho Santa Fe. Now, that's some of that, but I want to show you some of what's active right now. So all single family condo options. We only have about 76 options in all of Rancho Santa Fe. Which isn't a whole lot of inventory. You can see prices are going to range 5.2, 8.5, you have 2.9, 4 mil, but a ton of different architecture too, depending on what your style is. Square footage, keep an eye on that too, because 7,500 square feet, 13,000, 5,000, 6,000. So they're going to range. A lot of them are going to have their own sports courts, maybe a tennis court, but you're going to probably be on a bigger than an acre. So depending on what you want, you're going to have a ton of options, as you can see right here. So hopefully that made a lot of sense to you. That really helped with your searches. And if you have any questions or if this sparked anything, feel free to reach out. That's what me and my team are here for. We're happy to make this as smooth as possible and just help you find that exact home that you're really looking for. So feel free to reach out. It doesn't matter your price point as well. We're willing to help anybody. Is in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next video.